Move location here to my hallway to talk a little bit about light, and as you can immediately tell, the audio is completely different. It's ugly, it's echoey, it's in my hallway. Every room sounds differently, so again, that's something to bear in mind. But in terms of light, it's really important to bring lights with you while you're shooting with your smartphone. If you're outside, probably less so, but definitely when you're inside, you don't know, unless you've been there for a recce, which I recommend, you don't know what sort of lighting there's going to be sometimes. And smartphones do very poorly in low level light. They're working really hard, like I said, to get you good exposure, but that means it's going to get really grainy. It's going to start pumping up the sort of gain and exposure, and it gets really grainy. I'll show you what that's like in this hallway as a quick comparison. But it's really important to use as much light as possible. More light, the better image, the more control. Like I said, you can adjust the exposure up and down. But check it out without, say, even the spotlights on, for example. Now, I've turned the roof lights off, the spots on the roof, and obviously I haven't adjusted the camera as I would, so I'm just going to bring it up, put the auto exposure lock on, try to kind of give it some sort of thing going, and you can see that it's not a very nice image to begin with, but you can see a lot of grain there, and there's nothing sort of picking me out from anything apart from maybe the background, sort of brightness in the background. It's maybe picking me out, and the image is, you know, the focus of the shot, but it's not doing much whatsoever. But you can definitely see how ugly smartphone footage gets in low level light. Now, I've actually got a small LED light that you can attach to the top of your camera. It's very portable. You charge it with USB and it's really handy and quite powerful too. We'll talk more about lights in other videos, more specifically geared towards that, but briefly, just to point out why this might look a little bit more exposed and a little bit better, but still slightly odd, is because light has different temperatures. I actually brought light that is sort of balanced to daylight, so because I thought I was going to be doing all my videos at my window in the living room, which would allow me to have some pretty nice additional lighting that would match the prevailing light coming in. In my hallway, however, with all the warm light around me, this daylight coloured lamp, you can see in my hand there, looks blue. So it's a little bit odd, but you can still see the effect of having that extra light just to pick out your subject. Even if it is straight into their face, you can move it around, and you can dial it up and down as well. These lights are pretty handy. You know, that's it really bright, like, or you can bring it, you know, down, but even and that's it off. But even say something like that, it's pretty nice. Or just that tiny little bit extra light to maybe just pick out the eyes, or just give a little bit more exposure to some shadowy areas on your face. But like I said, lights are very important shooting with your smartphone, so definitely plan for lights. Plan for lights. Plan to bring lights. Definitely bring lights.